Next speaker, Councillor Delgrand.
Well, I certainly support Councillor Ainsley for saying to get on with it. I support Councillor Kelly. I certainly will not support, or I hope no one takes Councillor Mahavic's item and brings it forward. The fact is that, as Councillor Kelly's pointed out, we had a situation there where we had a defiant board. Once you had a defiant board, there was an issue that the head was a lawyer and he was doing, and we wanted to change that, and we couldn't do that. We couldn't muster that. And what Councillor Kelly was talking about, apparently the will of council was averted by one vote that was done by the board. So here we went through all this torture about what to do with Casa Loma with respect to the Kiwanis, and we made a decision. And it got deep sixed. So going the way that's been suggested, we need a very radical look at that. I was there actually this summer. It's one of the things I did, because I went this summer. It is tired. At the gift shop, I'm sure, I don't know who markets down in the gift shop, but there's all kinds of opportunities that are available. But we keep looking at it with the same lens over and over and over again. So I agree. I think we should go out. We should be radical. We should, put, as we've said continually, and there's always a pushback, everything needs to be on the table, and we need to look at it without all kinds of constraints not to be able to look at it. And that's been part of our problem. We started off doing that, putting everything on the table, and then we find everybody's hiding the table, that we can't even deal with it. So I think, we need to put this RFP out. We need to maybe even dust off some of the other items that Councillor Kelly was talking about, some of the proponents that came forward, and put them back on the table again and to have a look at them. So I will support these motions. I won't add some other types of motions that go back to the old way of doing things and stymieing things. I won't support that.
Thank you, Councillor. Other speakers? Councillor Thompson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I just wanted to speak in support of the recommendations that are here. I too have been around this issue for quite some time, and I've seen the tender care and processes that we have taken to work with community groups and organizations and so on. And in fact, we don't seem to be any further ahead in terms of where we need to be. This is a very thoughtful, logical process that's been outlined here for us, which allows us to actually have input in the process. And clearly the community will have a say as well in terms of being able to communicate through their councillors and through the process that's actually been put in place. But I do think it's important to establish this RFP process where we go out into the private sector and get someone or groups of someone's or organizations who have good ideas for this very majestic building in a very nice part of the city. And clearly there's a real desire to see the structure and the name continue in the sort of the lexicon of the city. It is a beautiful property, and the building can be beautiful again and be restored, but certainly it has to be interactive. It has to create attraction. It has to have a brand that has wholesomeness that will attract people. And so I think this is the only way to go, or if we are willing to put up the millions of dollars that is necessary to give it life, then let's do it. And if we were able to do that, we would have done it obviously a long time ago. I was in the building probably about 3 years ago, and we were talking just about the fact that it doesn't have air conditioning as one would expect, and just some of the points that are raised by individuals that are there, while they love the name and love the concept of the building and so on, it is not reflective of a great city like ours to have our history being tarnished in the fashion that it is being tarnished by, basically, it's death by neglect And I don't want to blame any group for what they haven't done or what they should have done. I think a lot of efforts have been made by certainly local councillor. Councilman Havoc's been around trying to resuscitate and bring life to this, and I certainly understand his desire to work with a local group, but we have seen that that hasn't worked, and I think that this is a step forward, and I think we just have to proceed. Now's the time, because if it's not now, then it will never be.
Thank you, Councillor. Other speakers? Well, seeing none, I'll take a word. There's a couple of things I just wanted to mention. One, there's been some, I guess, criticism of the Kiwanis in a way, and I think the fact is that if it wasn't for the Kiwanis, this place would have been long gone in the 30s or whenever they took it over. No one wanted it, and if they wouldn't have stepped up to the plate, I think it probably would have been demolished, and that problem wouldn't even be here today. So we do have this great asset in large part due to their efforts, whether we fully appreciate them or not. As far as the deputants were concerned, it seemed to me that they were on the track that we're on. It's just that somehow they didn't quite see the end result in the report before us. I think they were looking for not, as they said, not an operator, but someone who will be innovative. And I think we won't know whether we're going to find someone who's innovative until we go to the process and see what comes of it. And we can take it if we like it, and we don't have to take it if we don't like it. But I think we'll never know what we have here until we go through a process like this. So, and I think the sooner we do it, the better. As the economic director mentioned to us, that we have a revenue stream there right now, but it can't be guaranteed. And without it, it would end up costing the city an awful lot of money. So it's urgent that we get on with this and deal with this problem before it does cost taxpayers a lot more money. Councillor Havoc suggests that perhaps we can split the venues, and some venues we can keep, and that we'll fund those somehow for different organizations, and then we'll maybe put the rest up for proposal. But the fact is that we don't have that much extra money here anymore. We know full well that we still have a deep hole to fill. Councillor Delgran will tell you that the budget problem still is severe here, and we've got to try to get the most out of our assets. And this is an asset I think can produce more, but this is the way to get it. So I would urge you to support these recommendations, let the board do its job, let the city manager do his job, and let's see what the results are. Any other speakers? Okay, we do have some motions, though, that are before the...
It's just adoption of the report.
Oh, is it just adoption? I thought there's no other motions then? Okay, the adoption of the report, record a vote, all in favor?
Those in favour, Councillor Ainsley, Councillor Berardinetti, Councillor Del Grande, Councillor Kelly, Deputy Mayor Holliday, Councillor Milchin, Councillor Minnan-Wong, Councillor Palacio, Councillor Shiner, Councillor Thompson. Those opposed? Carried unanimously, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, item 3, a motion on item 3 then. Adopt, all in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. That would take us now to item number 4, and there's speakers on item number 4. I've got the mayor's speakers list. Okay, this is the review of the City of Toronto's policies on anti-discrimination. We do have speakers. The first listed speaker I have is Martin Gladstone, followed by Sita Ramakwalan Singh,